Hey everybody, welcome to EGG202 Final Project C, Blackjack. And as you know, Blackjack is that thinking person's game for those who, let's face it, don't like to do a lot of thinking. So Blackjack is basically a game where you're playing against the dealer or the house, and you're given two cards, and dealer has one card faced up and one card face down. Of course, both your cards are faced up. And the idea is, whichever person, you and the dealer, whoever has closest to 21 without going over, wins. Now, of course, let's say you have 21. Now, if you have blackjack, then you win automatically. Now, in this game, we'll make it a bit simpler. So if you get 21, the dealer can also try to match 21. But in reality, if you hit 21, you win automatically. But we'll just sort of stick to the very simple version of this blackjack/21 game. Now, if you bust and go beyond 21, that means you automatically lose because the dealer would just not have to do anything. If you don't go beyond 21, you don't bust, then the dealer is going to start, playing and hitting and trying to, beat your score. And the catch is the dealer has to at least reach the value 17 before it stops. So when it hits 17 or higher, the dealer has to stop automatically. That's the whole idea of this game. Let's go ahead and just simulate this game so you can kind of see what's going on. So here it is. So the UI again could use a little work, but I felt like I really didn't want to do too much work on this. So right now I have $100 in my stack at the moment, and this gives me an option to make a bet. And this should never ever give me the option to go beyond sort of my stack. So once I hit 100, it won't go beyond. It's this numeric up and down picker. I think that's what the object is called, or numeric up down, I think. Very simple one to use. You don't have to really implement this too much. This is all already done for you. So let's go ahead. I'm going to play $20 right now. So right now, the only button clickable is play. I'm going to hit play right now. When I do that, you can see hit me and stand are re-enabled, but this, I can't select a different amount anymore. So right now, I have a jack and a 5. So essentially, you have to add the cards' values up, and essentially numbers 2 through 10, well, those values are 2 through 10. And then jack, queen, and king all have a 10 value as well. And the ace, well, ace could be either 1 or 11. And you pick the one, whichever one is better, whichever one betters your current hand. So right now I have 15 and a dealer is showing 9. Now conventional wisdom says to hit because there's a good chance that this second card right there is going to be either 10, jack, queen, or king. So the dealer might have a 19. So you kind of have no choice but to bet. So I'm going to do a hit me. And I get 20. A new card pops up right there. So I have a 20. I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to stay with that 20. So I'm going to stand. And as predicted, they got 9 and jack 19, but I got a 20, so I win. So now my stack is 120, as you can see. And of course now this wheel, or this selector, I can go up to 120 now. But of course, I'm just going to be, play safe, don't play too silly. Always pace yourself in these games. I'll try 30 this time. I'm going to hit play. Everything will clear out. Now I have a jack and 9, 19. Dealer is showing a 9, so I'm going to go ahead and stand, which is the more conventional play right now in blackjack. Dealer has 15, 25, dealer busts, so I win. So I win 30 bucks, 150. Awesome. So let's go ahead and play some more. This is actually, I don't know, a little bit addicting to play this game. It's actually fun to see it actually when you wrote your game and it works correctly. It's fun. So anyway, let's try 50 now. So I'm gonna kind of force myself to lose eventually, so you see what happens. I'm gonna hit play again, disables. Now in blackjack, if you have two of the same card, you can split them in two different hands. You also can double down in blackjack, but I'm just going to not implement those. But of course, if you want to implement that yourself, you're more than welcome to. But just you can implement the regular ordinary game. So I have 8, so dealer is showing a 3. So of course, I'm gonna hit 10. Okay, definitely gonna hit once more. 20. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna stand right there. Wow, isn't that the truth? Isn't that how it always ends up working out? Or I don't know if you, this always happens every play blackjack. You get 20, great, you're feeling good, and dealer comes up with 21. You're thinking, how did this happen? So it's okay. I lost 50 right there. It's down to 100. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and just maybe just play the whole 100 and see what happens if I lose. So I'm going to say play. I have 7. I guess I'll play this out. I'll just hit stand. 15. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes, okay. So I win 100. Let me go ahead and just, I'm going to play 200 now. So I'm just trying to eventually lead to a loss. So 13. Ooh, bad spot. I'm going to go ahead and stand, and if I lose, I lose. I don't want to bust. I'll just, just lose if I lose. Oh wait, I might win. I won because dealer didn't hit 17, so I got this. Okay. All right, I'm 400. Okay, this is actually cool. But let me go ahead and just, play the whole 400 now. See if when I lose, what happens. 15. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just bust right now. Okay, I busted, so I lost. So you lose, and now I'm out of money. Goodbye. Game is over. Just like in that one game show, The Weakest Link, the same treatment I just received right there. So anyway, that's how the game is actually played. Let's go ahead and go over some of the implementation details in the form UI and some of the coding parts right now. All right, so I guess I already kind of discussed all this earlier. Here's a form UI in the PDF as well, but I already kind of showed that as well earlier. So basically, you're going to have the following sort of following components on your forms. You're going to have 2 picture boxes for yourself and 2 picture boxes for the house. Then a play button, a hit me button, a stand button, and of course a label that displays the player score, a label that displays the house score, of course a label that displays the amount of money, and of course numeric up-down object used to select. So again, you can of course make the UI look a little nicer. I guess I also, once again, guilty of I whipped this up pretty quick, the look of it. But of course you can, take your time and try to make it look nice and whatnot. But anyway, this is the general idea of the UI right there. So now, once again, you're going to have the following events. Of course, your form load events. You're going to just simply set up where you're going to have the 2 cards face down. Obviously, just like when I first play the game, you want to just initialize your game essentially. And the play button is designed to clear out all the cards from the form. So essentially, not all the cards, but like the cards when you saw me when I was doing a hit me, it was dynamically putting cards onto the form. So this is why this might be the more tougher project, because you have to actually manually allocate a picture box and then display it to the form. So you want to clear all those out from the last game. So then it's going to start over again and sort of put 2 new cards faced up on your stack. And of course, it's going to show 1 card of the house faced up, other card is face down. So that's what you have to do for the and of course you initialize everything else. So it's just you set up a new game essentially. That's kind of what the play button does. Now this hit me event is going to select the random card. So again, what you can do is you can create not a vector. There is an actual list in C#. So I did have a video that covers lists from one of earlier videos in the series. But of course, you can Google this. There is a list in C# that you can use to store 52 cards. But of course, it could be maybe just a regular array because it's not going to be a dynamic list. And of course, you can sort of shuffle that by swapping any 2 card randomly. Do it many times to get a random deck like that. And of course, you always remove from the front and you select the card accordingly like this. So again, once you pick a card, you want to display this to the form. And this code right here is going to insert a card to the form. So you create a new card and you create a new point. So of course, the new point, you have to give it an X and Y coordinates. So possibly you're going to have maybe a class variable that stores the location of the last card put down, so you know where to put the next card, side by side with the previous card that was put down. So of course, you want to save those coordinates possibly. And then, of course, the image is going to be the new card.image. It'll be imaged out from a file, and of course, same kind of method like for the other final projects. You want to just simply use a directory of the card. So you can have maybe an array of strings that stores each card name, and of course you randomly pick a card from that string and that array, and of course you get the directory of where your cards are located, and of course select that card, display it to this image. Of course, make this image scalable, so that's why you use the zoom. I think it's supposed to be stretch. Okay, zoom is okay too. Then of course, this width and height, so PB user 1, so if you go back to this over here, this right here is PB user 1. So I guess player, a picture box, I guess, user 1. So I'm just going to make sure it's going to be the same dimensions as the width and height of this. So I use these dimensions right here. And then the location is going to be based on that point. So of course, the X and Y coordinates. And then this is going to dynamically add this card to the form. So that's that. And of course, you want to also maybe store. So once you add it to the form, you may want to take this new card and insert it into a list of type picture box. So you have a list of those cards you dynamically added to your form. So once you play a new game, you can simply go through that list, and essentially you can clear out all of those user cards, or those cards are dynamically added to the forms. You want to have the addresses of all of those cards you add dynamically, so of course you can clear them out off the form at the end. So anyway, when this game is played, so obviously the user can hit the stand button when stand is going to now run the house play. Now of course, in this hit me button, let's say the user busts, or user hits 21, this line of code right here is going to actually force or induce that stand button to be called. So of course user can select stand, but if let's say you hit 21 or you bust, then you want to run that stand event. That stand event is going to just simply now, the house is going to now play. So this is going to actually force that stand button to get clicked. So now when stand button is clicked again, it's async wait once again, because remember, when I played that game, as you saw the house, the card was put down, then another card was put down, kind of one by one. So you kind of see it interactively in front of you as the dealer is putting cards down. So as you just have the dealer, so to put a card down for a dealer, the same kind of code like you have to do right here to dynamically add a button to your form, not button, sorry, a card to your form. You add a card down, you wait 2 seconds, and then of course put another card down, wait 2 seconds. Of course, then either once the dealer hits 17 or above, you compare the scores of the dealer and yourself, and whoever wins, of course, you add amount. You add the amount of money that was in the user up down sort of object. So we didn't really cover this in class, but right here for up down, we have an actual value field of 5. If I were to update this, let's say to like 6, you can see a 6 shows up right there. So that value, you can extract that from the numeric up down, and I believe you have to convert that to a string, because I think the value is not an integer. I'm not quite sure. I think I had to go through some extra bit of work to make sure it worked correctly. And of course I would convert to a string, and then I would go ahead and convert that to integers. I would take the value field of this object, dot to string, and of course use that int.parse to convert to integer, and of course that amount you add or subtract that from the total amount of money the player currently has. But anyway, again, I'm just going to let you kind of work out the logic for this, because at this point, if you are taking on this lab, I'd imagine you at least got the first one to work, part A to work, and you're just sort of, maybe you're just working on this just for the fun of it, I suppose. So anyway, I hope this video is a very short video. Hopefully gives you an idea of what you have to do. So of course, happy coding, and until next time.